Hi, my name is Sharon, late to tennis. I'm from Long Island, New York, and you're listening to PodCacher.
Hey, I'm Sunny.
And I'm Sandy.
From sunny San Diego, California.
Welcome to PodCacher.
This show is packed with geocaching goodness, news, tips and tricks, and tools of the trade.
Also interviews, geocaching events, and stories from around the world.
You can find show notes with links mentioned on the show and a lot more geocaching goodies at podcacher.com. So with that, let's get on with the show. There, hello, and welcome to another PodCacher podcast.
We are glad you're here with us for show 902 for April 7th, 2025.
And no matter where you are in the world this April, hopefully you had a little time the last few weeks to do some geocaching with friends, family, or complete strangers.
We got a little geocaching in this weekend. It was a very nice weather weekend.
Oh, beautiful.
Beautiful outside.
I mean, here it is, April. It's spring, so... But it was just choice weather. Here in San Diego, slightly breezy, like enough to fly a kite maybe. But oh my gosh. It's what you guys imagine San Diego, like 72 degrees.
It's what we're known for.
Dry, not humid weather. It was just beautiful this last weekend. Yeah.
And on Saturday, in the morning, Sonny was able to do some cache maintenance. And you know how something goes wrong with your cache and you disable it because there's been so many DNFs, and then sort of it falls off the radar, and then you get the nice friendly message from the reviewer that says, "Hey, this has been disabled for so long.
We needed to
we had to take care of that."
And we've got a lot of caches down in the San Diego area, in Mission Bay, and for you cache hiders, it's like part of cache hiding life. Caches go missing or disabled, or not disabled, but missing or stolen or whatever, and you've just got to maintain them. Which means that people who have more caches have more maintenance
work to do. I know, that's great.
But I was able to go check out a lot of them, and fortunately they didn't take a whole lot of time to maintain them this time.
And then Saturday evening, we actually went to the art event in Encinitas.
That was cool.
Yeah, and if you remember, Sonny chatted with Chet on the interview.
Chatted with Chet.
You chatted with Chet? Yes. It's like, did I say something wrong?
No, I just alliteration.
It sounded funny.
Yeah.
Chet. We had an interview with Chet.
Yes.
About this event.
Yes.
And we are going to chat more about that later in the show.
But even with all that chatting going on, we have a great show planned for you today. We have some awesome geocaching poetry from our contest.
And you will see why we think PodCacher listeners are the most creative geocachers.
We have some news about celebrating 20 years of PodCacher.
A quiet day of geocaching that took quite a dramatic turn, and more.
Oh, yeah. First up, new treasure collections in the news.
Geocaching and GPS news.
First up in geocaching and GPS news, it's April, so it's time for new treasure collections.
That's right. And just as a reminder, this started April 1st, actually. 2 new collections of treasures, navigational tools, and egg hunt were made available for geocachers to collect. And to access them, you first have to complete the Celebrating 25 Years collection, which we're still working on, actually. So the navigational tools collection can be found by finding and logging any traditional cache with a difficulty rating of 2 or higher and a terrain of 1.5 or lower.
Okay.
And then the egg hunt collection highlights 7 different geocache types with 7 different treasures. So each one has a different criteria of the geocache that you have to find. And you can do them in any order, but we're talking a traditional, a mystery, a multi, letterbox hybrid, event, earth cache, and virtual. Kind of covers them all. And as a reminder, these first 4 collections have no deadline, so they are available indefinitely.
They're sort of like introductory level things to do.
For people to kind of figure out how it works. And in other news, a release to the geocaching app, version 9.73, has made it easier for premium members to discover and filter events, including rare event types that are happening this year for the anniversary.
Nice.
The first one is event filtering. So premium members can now filter for all event types separately, and making it easier to find like those block parties or community celebration events. So all event types have been moved to their own section. And then additive cache type filters, they said this matches the filter paradigm on geocaching.com. So when you want to filter for just one cache type, it will save you one tap.
Okay.
There you go.
Got to save those taps.
And for more information on both of those news topics, you can go to the links in our show notes.
PodCacher email.
First up in PodCacher email, we got a voicemail message from Red Lights. Let's take a listen.
Hey, Team PodCacher. This is Red Lights from Southern Maryland on kind of a drizzly day here in March. I'm calling because I'm in the middle of a pine forest and I have found an actual old Mylar balloon. Along the trail, I saw some other trash, and I'm going to be picking it up. But I just have a general question, and maybe a little bit of a debate that you can have. Do people still pick up trash when they're finding caches, even though it's not labeled as a Sito or a Catal? Just wondering what your opinion is. Love the show. David from Southern Maryland.
All right. That's a good question.
It is.
Yeah.
And it probably depends.
It does depend, yeah. One of the things we do, and we've mentioned it on a previous show, is we take those very thin grocery bags that you get free, at a lot of grocery stores.
Mm-hmm.
Or you used to get them free.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're very thin, and you can. There's a way to roll them up, or you can just stick them in a Ziploc bag, like take 2 or 3, right? But we rolled them up so they're sort of like, I don't know, size of a little Tootsie Roll or so. And then when we go geocaching, if we happen to see garbage that's appropriate to pick up that's going to fit in that, it's an easy thing to do, and then usually find a trash can for it.
But to be honest, we don't always do that. There's certainly times we're out geocaching, and you might notice trash and go, oh, well, maybe another time.
Yeah, or there's so much, it's not going to fit in a simple grocery bag.
So probably sometimes people do and sometimes people don't. But it's a good reminder for all of us.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, you don't have to do everything, just do a little. Right? There are times that we've walked in or out of a place and it's just like a couple aluminum cans or something. Yeah, that's easy to do. So
every little bit helps.
Pitch in. All right, it's PodCacher Poetry time. We, as you know, we had a contest about just submitting any kind of poetry in order to win a prize from the prize vault. But we got quite a few submissions, and we chose some of them to read to you out loud here. So next up is some PodCacher geocaching poetry.
So this one came in from Manny, also known as Lefebvre. Here's a poem to honor my 90-year-old brother, who is an avid geocacher.
Okay.
Ode to a geocacher. Under the beauty of Saskatchewan's living skies, Lee, known as Lefebvre, searches for the prize. It was 2009 when his quest began, scouring wild terrains with the spirit of a man. With GPS precision and his trusty iPhone in hand, he conquers hidden caches across the vast land. He's swift to search for the newest published find, first to uncover what others have left behind. Now he's 90, but it doesn't slow him down. He'll search till he finds every cache in town. 4,650 secrets found. He has to travel far to find new ones around. In bushes and brambles and up in trees, he'll climb up high or get down on his knees. The micros can hide, but not for long. His desire to find them is very strong. He'll attend an event if it's not too far away. Fun to meet cachers any time of the day. Here's an ode to a geocacher whose journey defies age. May you keep on caching to add numbers to your page.
Very nice. I like that. Okay. Next up is a haiku from Kitty Catch in Australia. Here you go. Footprints in the sand. Treasures hidden, clues unfold. Adventure awaits. Yeah,
Nice.
good. Yeah. All right. I like it.
I love the fact there was so much variety.
There was
in what
variety.
we got.
Yeah.
So this came in from Kath, who is Mrs. Ed to Ed from the UK, and she sent a limerick. In the UK, the nemesis be the infamous ivy-covered tree, entwined in its fronds, the geocache bonds, and daylight may never again see.
Nice. That's clever. Okay. And this next one is a poem called Tots or Tools of the Trade by Direwolf 821. Here we go. So you want to find a geocache? What should you take, you ask? Let's talk about the tools of the trade. Tots for short is what we say, some type of GPS device. A smartphone would be my advice. A pen you should also bring along to put your geo name on the log. Tweezers are great for certain hides, for cache logs that are stuck inside. Leather gloves are also good to have when reaching inside holes to make a grab. I'd also recommend long pants to keep out ticks and the fire ants. To me, some boots are also a must to step through brush and mud and muck. An extendable magnet can be grand to get that geocache in hand. Bring some paper from Right and Rain because wet logs can be such a pain. Although not really a tot per se, swag sometimes comes into play. What is swag, you say? There's another poem for another day. These are tots I carry. May it make your geocaching merry.
All right.
Yeah, I like that. Okay.
And then another haiku from KC2. Sights I would not see, if not for geocaching, grateful for each place.
All right. There's a few examples of some of the poems that were sent in. We have a few more a little bit later on in this show. Hey, we hope you're enjoying the show and the geocaching content we bring you each and every week. You know, you might not know this, but PodCacher is fully listener supported. We want to send out a huge thanks to our club members who are the ones who provide the funds that allow us and encourage us to keep on podcasting each and every week. You know, PodCacher is supported by passionate geocachers just like you. Lisa, also known as NYGC from Tennessee. Pascal, also known as Icon Juan from France. Heather, also known as B Cupcake from Arizona. And Ian, also known as Slogger 007 from the UK. Now, these are just everyday geocachers just like you who've chosen to step up and encourage us and support our work to craft and create the geocaching goodness that we bring you. And you can join them today and get all the club member perks, including the collectible club member path tags and more. You'll get a new path tag each year while you're a member. Won't you consider joining the PodCacher Club? Being a club member, you can take pride in knowing that you play a crucial role in bringing the geocaching world great content, and you have our most sincere thanks and appreciation. You know, with millions of geocachers all around the world, there are bound to be interesting stories that come to us. And here's a story from Escape from Flatland about a quiet morning of geocaching that turned into something else.
They wrote and said, "Hey, PodCacher, I recently went to the 2025 MOGA event. A huge shout out to Ryan and the Flint Hills Geocachers and the city of Abilene, Kansas for a great weekend."
Nice.
Now, about my trip down to MOGA. On Thursday, March 27th, McBrown 63, GA Brown 67, and Rep Mole picked me up at daylight, and we spent the day caching a route that I had planned for our group. With around 400 miles to drive on the route, I limited St. Joseph, Missouri to just a few caches, which included a 3-stage virtual cache. So we parked the vehicle next to stage 1, completed the requirement, and made our way to stage 2. We passed a local resident, and he and I said hello as we passed. "Beautiful morning out," I said to him. And he said it was just another quiet morning in sleepy St. Joe. As we completed stage 2, we began to hear police sirens in several different directions. We began walking across the park to stage 3 behind City Hall when we saw a multitude of sheriff and police vehicles with lights flashing and sirens blaring to our left, where several roads converged by City Hall. "Well, that PT Cruiser isn't stopping. I wonder if they're chasing him," remarked Rep Mole. In just a matter of seconds, the PT Cruiser was behind City Hall. We heard several gunshots right as it reappeared on the other side of the building.
Wow.
Here we were, standing in the open with a clear view of the passenger in the PT Cruiser pointing his gun at the sheriff's vehicle behind him. There was nowhere for us to go but duck low for a second As we quickly assessed, they were moving quickly away from us and we were safe. It took a bit of time for us to make our way to stage 3, talking with others who also saw the police chase. One of the bullets shattered a window at a beauty salon. The ladies were shaken up, but safe. We chatted with the owner when she pulled up and was calling her insurance agent. Nothing like this has ever happened before, she told us. Later, I read a news article that said the bullet had been recovered from one of the chairs inside. It's a miracle that nobody was hurt. Eventually, we finished the virtual and made our way over to the visitor center for a gadget cache before heading west out of sleepy St. Joe and on to Kansas. Not so sleepy that day.
Not so sleepy. And again, that came to us from listener Escape from Flatland.
All right, let's get back to some more poetry with a poem called Containers by Canyon Vision. Oh, how I love thee, ammo can beneath a tree. Broken bits of Tupperware, parched from the desert air. LPC, electrical box, guardrail and pile of rocks, bison tube or Altoids tin, and the ragged log within. Gadget caches are truly great. There's something all can appreciate.
Nice. I like that. This next one comes to us from David Redden, also known as Red Lights. First of all, a huge congratulations on 900 episodes. I've been with you for a lot of them. This morning, I listened to the most recent episode and was reminded of a cache that used to be located here in southern Maryland called GeoPoet. It took me multiple attempts to find it, but eventually I did. Here's my poem that I wrote in the actual log. After 4 tries, the time was right for me to find this treasure site. Looked high, looked low, and under the brush. I took my time. I was in no rush. I'm happy now to have found it, thanks to the Last Gap Gang and Vince Hayter who hit it. Nice.
All right.
All right.
And then this one is called Where I Go By by Forest Ghost. Where did I go? No one can say. Through forests and meadows I wandered away. I ran through the fields, swam in the sea, searched for a treasure hidden in a tree. Back home now, resting with a smile, but the adventure calls again to go explore the wild. On again, out again, ever forward go, searching for the treasure of the lost where I go.
All right. And we are not done with poetry. We have a few more to share with you a little bit later on in the show.
As you all know, in March, we celebrated the 900th PodCacher Show, but we are also looking forward to another milestone coming up in July. It will be 20 years of PodCacher.
20 years. Just wrap your head around that. Like, where were you 20 years ago?
In
right?
2005,
20,
in July.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, here in San Diego, we're planning an event on July 12th, Saturday, and we'd love to invite any of you who also host an event on that weekend. We're working on some trackable tags to celebrate 25 years of geocaching and 20 years of PodCacher. And if you host a celebration event, we'll send you one for free. These trackables will be available for purchase as well, and we'll share more information about that shortly. Now, if you would like to host a celebration event, here are some important reminders and information that we got from Geocaching HQ. You need to use Team PodCacher, not just PodCacher, in the title. For example, you can say, celebrate 20 years with Team PodCacher. Second thing is a brief, factual, non-promotional mention of the podcast in the description is okay. And again, if you want some tips on how to write that, write us, and we'll be glad to send one to you. But something like the longest-running, family-friendly geocaching podcast in the world. I mean, that's all factual. And so I think you can use something like that. You cannot use any logos or web links, so make sure you avoid those. What's going to happen is your reviewer is going to be the person to say you can't do that, so you might as well know now. Now, if you want any further information or direction, please reach out to us. We'll be happy to provide that for you. Let us know if you publish an event to help celebrate 20 years, and we'll add it to our bookmark list.
And, you know, we mentioned, we called it a celebration event, but just to be clear, we don't mean it has to be a community celebration event.
No.
It's just celebrating.
In the true sense of the term.
Right, yeah. 20 years of PodCacher. In fact, ours is just going to be a regular, normal event.
Yeah.
Because we don't have any more community celebration events, because those are special. So just any normal event to celebrate with us.
Yep.
You may be familiar with Cache Advance for their famous subscription box, the Cache Crate, but they also release seasonal surprises like their latest gift box, the Mother's Day Mystery Box, Mother of Finds Edition. Now here's what they say. For the trailblazing, cache-seeking, adventure-loving woman who rule the realm this Mother's Day, honor the queens of the outdoors with a geocaching gift box worthy of legend. Inspired by the spirit of fearless female adventurers and with a cheeky nod to a certain dragon-taming queen, our Mother of Finds mystery box is the ultimate tribute to the women who lead the charge through forest, fields, city parks, and mountain trails, GPS in hand and cache in sight. Whether you're gifting a geocaching mom you adore or claiming your throne as a Mother of Finds yourself, this mystery box is packed with regal surprises and caching-ready treasures. One item that won't be a mystery is an exclusive limited edition Mother of Finds t-shirt in heather gray with a charcoal trim. It's boldly printed in metallic golden color design featuring a crown-worthy design. For the rest of the box, you'll discover a curated selection of 3 to 4 additional geocaching goodies, thoughtfully chosen to celebrate the power and playfulness of the women who cache. It ships in early May and quantities are limited, so check it out now using the link in our show notes or at cache-advance.com.
You know, it's always terrific, and you guys probably enjoy it as well, when local geocachers take the time and energy and effort to put together geocaching events, adventure labs and things like that, because the rest of us get to enjoy it. Mm-hmm. Well, recently there was an evening art event in Encinitas. It was city organized, and it was located at 5 different locations. Out in Encinitas, which is a beachside city out here in San Diego. It was at City Hall, a library, community center, art center, and historical museum. So they provided shuttles between the sites if you just wanted to park at one. Mm-hmm. We decided that we were going to actually drive from one place to another. Yeah,
but as we went around, we saw the shuttles that made it really convenient. And then at each of those locations, there were all these different kind of art displays, and many times the artists were there themselves. They had different hands-on activities that you could do. There was live music. It was a really big deal, and it was really well organized with the city. Yeah, it was. It had been planned for a long time, and Chet, who you heard on a previous show, created a brand new adventure lab that kicked off that very same night. One location at each art site, and the geocaching event was to kick off at the community center. Yeah, so a bunch of us gathered there, and we were all seeing very familiar faces, and Chet was there kind of introducing the thing. He did a great job of integrating it into the art event. So as we went to different places, we were able to do an adventure lab at each one. Yeah, it wasn't something that he had created like just for geocachers. It was kind of an add-on thing. There was people at every single location with a table with information and a big sign with a QR code, and we heard people trying to like talk, like convince other people, hey, you want to try this little treasure hunt thing? Yeah. They had no idea what it was or that it was even related to geocaching, and they were giving away, prizes, gift cards. Yeah. And what Chet said on a previous interview was he wanted to introduce geocachers to the art, and there was quite a bit of art, 2D art, paintings and things, 3D art as well. But he also wanted to introduce artists and people who are interested in art to geocaching. And I could see quite a few new people that had never done an adventure lab or geocache before, and they did for the first time. Yeah, because they saw, the people were telling them, hey, it's real easy. You just answer a simple question at each site. And then once you finished all 5 of the locations, you just show your screen to show that you finished it. Yeah. And then you got entered into this drawing giveaway for potentially a gift card. It was really well done. So at the event, we ran into a guy named Phil, also known as Post Tool Digger, and he was excited to show me, because this is one of the things that we always touch base on. And he wanted to show me his newest EDC, or everyday carry gadget that he put together. It's super simple. Mm-hmm. You can check out a picture in our show notes, but what he did was he just took some elastic band, sort of the stretchy elastic that you can put into clothing. It's hard to describe. It's sort of like a cloth elastic. It's not a rubber band type of thing.
But he sewed it in such a way that it would hold a lot of his small gear, like a small knife, a pen, and a flashlight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all together so it wouldn't, bunch up in his pocket. It's a great idea. It was all handmade, and you can go check out in the show notes a picture of it and take a look at it. But then everybody sort of went their own way and went exploring around the different places. We saw a lot of cool art that night. And then right when we were sort of wrapping up, music was starting to play at different places. And it looked like it was a very well-organized event. And kudos to Chet for taking the time and energy once again to sort of dovetail his passion with the art that was going on at this city. All right, this is the last segment. We're wrapping up the poetry, but it just goes to show you how creative geocachers can be. Next up, we have a poem from Jobbers85 and the Mini Cachers.
And he wrote and said, just a quick email to enter a poem from one of my cache pages into your current competition. This is a tribute cache to a very local, very active local cacher who has brought a whole lot to the game in Dublin, Ireland over recent years, hence the tribute poem. However, as you can see from the title of the cache, Irish dub, some artificial intelligent praise, and all the A's and I's are capitalized. I cannot take credit for composing the poem. This is down to our first use of some AI in creating a cache. Now, as I say on the cache page, despite being artificially generated using the specific inputs that we decided upon, the mini cachers and I wholly agreed with the sentiment of the output, and we're very pleased with the finished product.
Okay, let's hear it.
In Waterstown Park, where the Liffey does flow, among the green meadows where geocachers go, Irish Dub has hidden, with a touch of finesse, caches that are puzzles, some simple, some complex. From trads to multis and lab adventures too, to an earth cache where nature shares wisdom anew, he has a virtual that speaks of stories long past and some mysteries that stump you, but you'll solve them at last. The letterbox hides with a stamp waiting inside as events gather cachers who come from far and wide. His path tags distinct, true works of art, are traded with pride, tokens of heart. Oh, Irish Dub, your marvelous caches amaze. In Palmerstown beauty we wander and gaze. Your hides spark adventure, they challenge and thrill. For each of us here, they capture the skill. Often seen busily with app in hand, you've wandered across sea, over mountain and land. Through forests so dense, through cities so grand, your joy for the game we all understand. With puzzles you solve and treasures you find, your logs leave us grinning, they're witty and kind. Your creativity shines in each cache that you place. Each one never fails to bring a smile to a face. From your very first find to the milestones ahead, you make this game better with each step you tread. May your journey be long and your caches be bold, with adventures to come in stories yet untold.
Nice. All right. And this next one here comes to us from Chalupa Dad, also known as Dustin. 3,000 down, 3,000 up. Geocaching sleep followed by geocaching frenzy. I wouldn't have it any other way.
All right. Nice.
Nice.
All right. And the last one we're sharing is a poem by Zippertiff. The phone just let me know it's time to jump and go, to beat those who aren't in the know and be the first to ground zero. Pajamas in bed I had planned, but cachers will understand. I must obey that internal command to grasp a blank log in my hand. Now out here I stand in my jammies, swatting at creepies and crawlies, digging in this row of hedgies to add to my FTF smileys. Hoping police don't come asking the reason for my late night grasping. As my hand finds what I've been seeking, my face is now happily beaming. Humming the Hallelujah chorus, my first finder log is a bonus, announcing my find to the masses and this tiny moment of greatness. Time to get home for some sleep, knowing the alarm clock will shriek just after slumber is reached. Did my phone just sound another beep?
Nice.
PodCacher Games and Contests.
Here at PodCacher, we love to play games and contests that gives you guys opportunities to win groovalicious swag.
And it is time to give away a prize for those who entered the poetry contest. Thank you for sharing your creativity with us.
Nicely done. Yep. All right. Now we're going to use the Pacholic Dice Roller, or PDR, here to select a winner at random. Here you go. And there you go.
Right. And the winner is Casey 2.
Casey, too.
Congratulations
for winning the PodCacher geocaching poetry contest. All right, contact us. Let us know you heard your name here, and you can pick your prize from the PodCacher prize vault. All right, guys, that is going to do it for today's show. Hey, thanks once again for being a listener and being part of the community. Do us a big favor, though. Some way, somehow, let other people know about PodCacher and the geocaching goodness we bring you guys each and every week. All right, guys, get out there, find those caches, but stay safe and keep on caching. Bye.
Well, that's it for the show today. We hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to visit our website at PodCacher.com. You'll find our show notes, useful links, and tons of resources. We always love to hear from you. Our email is podcatcher@gmail.com. You can also call the PodCacher hotline at 760-300-3633. Find out all the ways you can contact us at podcatcher.com/contact. Till next time, stay safe and keep on caching.